To most of you watching this video, this just looks like a little old box, right? But what you don't know is that inside this little old box lies the secrets of life and the future of my career. Part of that might have been a little exaggerated, trying to make like a super engaging YouTube video hook so it like sucks you into the video so you want to watch all the way through, and then it helps it push into the algorithm. I get more viewers, more subscribers. In turn, I'm able to put more mid-roll ads in this video, make more ad revenue. Eventually, I'm just a multi-billionaire, and me and Jeff Bezos are going out to dinner and he buys me 14 Lamborghinis. The other part of it's true though. This is there's some really cool stuff in this box. Let's open this up. I'm gonna open it up. It's not gonna be exciting right away, but it'll get exciting, I promise. Do me a favor really quick, just wait here. I have something. You turn your volume all the way up really quick though, like maximum volume, plug it into an aux cord maybe and turn the speakers all the way up. I'll be right back. You're welcome. Let's just go into our freshly, oh, it is kind of getting unorganized already. I mean, it's for sure better than it was, but like looking through the lens of the camera, it looks kind of gnarly again. I know where everything is though still, that's what matters. We need this. I thought I was doing a good job keeping everything organized, but it just gets so unorganized so fast. Let's get this, dude. How can I not puncture that? Oh, the blade is, I was like pushing as hard as I can. I couldn't cut through cardboard. Don't worry, thanks to our organizational skills, we have another. Some of you know what this is already. And by some of you, I mean my tier 2 channel members, because you guys see everything before everyone else. Link in description. I'm so bad at promoting channel memberships, bro. I don't know how to do it properly. Alrighty, let's see here. Oh no, this might not be good. I might have ordered the wrong thing. No! 2-inch pipe and 2.375-inch tube. There's no way, hold on. I might have made a whoopsie, which is gonna change the whole direction of this YouTube video if that's the case. Let's see. We'll be able to, dude, I did. I ordered the wrong thing. Let me grab some 2-inch tubing. How did I do? I thought I paid so close attention to make sure I didn't do this. Let's grab some 2-inch tubing. This is what I make all my rails out of. Yeah, I can see it's not right. God, that's annoying. I waited almost 2 weeks for this to get here too. Well, okay, change of plans for this video.
Swag Off-Road, this is David.
Hey, I recently made a purchase from you guys, and I found out that I ordered the wrong size die. Kind of wanted to figure out what's the best way to go about returning and swapping out, or how I can handle that.
Gotcha, yeah, you're referring to roller dies, bender dies, dimple dies?
Roller dies. I have my order number as well, if that helps.
Oh, that would be awesome if you got that on hand.
I do. That is going to be...
Alright, let's see here. Garrett?
Yes, that's me.
Alright, so it looks like you got the 2-inch round pipe, 2.375 round tube die.
Right, and I need 2-inch round tube die. Not two. I must have got pipe and tube confused when I ordered.
Yeah, no worries. We'd be happy to exchange those just straight across. So
okay.
If you just want to ship them back to us. And inside the box, if you could include a note with your name, shipping address, phone number, and then just write on there that you need 2-inch round tube.
Okay.
And then include $10 cash or check to cover shipping out the replacement. As soon as we get the return, we'll just ship out the correct ones to you.
Okay. Thank you so much for your help. I really appreciate that.
Hey, have a good one.
You too. Bye. That's so annoying. On my behalf, not their fault, obviously. I ordered the wrong thing. Like I said, this was a little under 2 weeks ago. I've learned a lot and I've progressed since ordering this, in case you can't tell. Oh, what is this YouTube video gonna be now? That really just threw off this whole video. You know what? On the bright side, at least we still have our tube lube, because as long as you have tube lube, life is fine. Now this actually will go. We're having our lubrication corner over here. We have anti-seize lube, multi-purpose grease, cutting fluid. Now we got our tube. I went from not having any sort of lube to having an excess. Oh, don't forget this lube. Thread cutting lube. I don't know why I have so much lube all of a sudden. That's not even counting the lube that Taylor and I gotta work on returning these and getting that all handled, but let's at least let's try to make it through this video at least, all right? Obviously, the intro of this video was a little overhyped up, but it is true. Oh, and I was referring to this thing right here, which that box that I just ordered is supposed to be for this. This is a tube roller. A month ago, I didn't even know the difference between tubes and pipes, benders or rollers. Like, there's all these terms that I was so confused and overwhelmed by, but I really am starting to get like a grasp on it all. This, which we've had for a while now, is a tube bender, and that is a tube roller. This calls for the magic whiteboard. This may or may not make sense, but I'm gonna try, all right? This, for example, is a bend, right? Beautiful. This is a roll. Beautiful. I don't know why, but for some reason, at first this made no sense to me. They kind of seemed like the same thing and could be used interchangeably. I was wrong. The tube bender, which again is this thing. I've been using this in pretty much all of the videos lately. It bends tube, as you may be able to gather from the name. That's what we use to make these 90-degree bends for the big old 30-foot bump to rail we did. The degree of bend that you do is obviously variable, so that's also what we use to do this little, I think it was 20-degree bend for the end of this kinked rail. Both of those examples, so this little end kink as well as this little 90-degree bend at the end, neither one of those could have been done with the tubing roller. This is where my beautiful artistic skills may start to make sense, right? I wish I had more of my fingerboard rails, but I just make products that are too good and they always sell out. Half kidding. These are the only examples that I have of products that I've made, but this all started, like, I wanted to recreate my fingerboard obstacles that I've been making for years now into real skateboard rails now that I'm beginning to enter the world of fabrication. I guess for the sake of this video, rails like this, the little A-frame rail we make, this can be made with the bender, but not the roller. And same with this one right here. This could be made with the bender and not the roller. You can see there's one bend there and one bend there, not rolls. I'm really curious. It's funny because like I have a very like interesting audience on YouTube now. I've gone through like so many different stages and phases, like in the past 3 months especially. So it's like if you still have the skateboarders that only care about skateboarding and have no interest in any of this fabrication stuff. And then now I'm starting to gather an audience of like people that like professional level fabricators where like entry level information like this is extremely boring. And there's some of you that are just here for whatever the fuck I post. Anyway, that's fine. I'm gonna be over explaining everything because it helps me too. Where I was going with the whole fingerboard comparison is that while both of those examples would use a tubing bender, I've made rails in the past where like a rainbow rail is a perfect example, or I call them roller coaster rails where it's like up and down and up and down, or a C rail, an S rail, like anything that has like big sweeping turns needs to be done with a roller. And I'm gonna put the word needs in quotes because my initial plan was to use the bender. This is about to be embarrassing. I'm gonna test my art skills here. You kind of get what I mean when I'm explaining what like a bender does, right? So if I wanted to achieve like a sweeping turn like you would get with a roller, but you want to do that with a bender, there is a way. I'm gonna over exaggerate it for the art. You would essentially be doing a bunch of little bends over and over and over and over. No, that's such a bad drawing. Let me try this again. So you go like boom, bend, and then bend, and then bend, and then bend, and then bend. No, that's really not much better. You get it though, right? Each of these bends would be, I never even got to experiment with it, but let's just say like 5 degrees. You have a bunch of 5-degree bends that you do like 2 inches apart, and it eventually forms this sort of overarching roll-looking bend thing. Too many goddamn like vocabulary words that I'm trying to remember. Long story short, possible, but a ton of work. Thanks to my channel members, as well as you guys just watching and supporting the videos, I was able to make my life and my workflow easier and just get the right tool. Which is where the roller comes in. You know what I think's gonna make this easier? I'm just gonna have a side-by-side video playing of a tube bender versus a tube roller so you can kind of see how they both work, what they both do, and then you don't have to look at my very elementary grade art school project trying to explain the difference when I'm just now learning it myself. Makes more sense now, right? One of the reasons that I got the bender first is this can be used for all sorts of stuff. Like if I want to venture into roll cage fabrication or making, you know, bumpers or like stuff like that, not just skate related stuff, I can use this for a whole bunch of things. The only thing holding me back is like my skill. The tubing roller has a little fewer use cases, at least for me. Like it'd be great for making like a gate, like anything that needs a big sweeping, you know, curve. For me, I mean, this is probably only gonna make skateboard rails, but that's fine. And that's sort of why like I did that whole YouTube video intro where like the possibilities of rails and skatable things that we can create with the roller just like tenfolded. Hence the dramatic YouTube video intro. Rails to make. That's gonna bug me that that's all caps and that's not, whatever. It kind of opens up the possibilities of rainbow rail. This is probably one of the first projects I'm gonna do just because it's a very simple roll. Here's there's like a better example of a roller coaster rail where you can like wall ride or pole jam, whatever you'd call that. That right there is like on the ground, right? So you can just ride up it and launch off. I think that could be really cool. It's also perfect for like a 360 degree, I don't even know, I do not know how to draw that. 360 degree rail. We already did that, but like that's how we would make it, you know? And the number one reason, well, okay, this has to have been maybe a month or two ago now. Some of you might not even remember this. What sort of sparked this entire fabrication and metalwork thing that just kind of exploded because I found this passion for it was a little like 1 minute talking point I had in a video maybe a month or two ago where I mentioned wanting to have 300 or 400 foot rail that comes all the way to the side of this driveway right here. Let me get up there to better kind of explain it. Kind of like where these logs are, right? Along the side of the driveway. I thought it would be so sick to have a super long flat bar going all the way down, you know, following the natural curve of the driveway, hence the tubing roller. It's also part of the reason I wanted to start with a smaller scale there, although that one's just a straight rail. It doesn't have any bends or rolls in it. Same vibe though, where like obviously it's meant for skating, but to someone that doesn't skate, it wouldn't look insanely out of place. It would just sort of be like a little side thing. Decorative separator, I don't know what you call it. You can see though, I mean, this whole driveway has some curves to it. It goes that way and then it goes this way, and it's not a straight line. That is pretty much the biggest use case for the tubing roller that we got, is we can do those big sweeping turns now. This project in itself would be, you know, thousands of dollars of steel and material, so I'm not ready to take it on yet, but we are, I don't even want to say slowly. We're working our way up to it. Pretty much every fabrication process so far has been furthering my skills and furthering my confidence, working up to that huge scale project that I would like to do myself. I hope some of this is making sense. The plan for today's video was to talk about the tubing roller and then try using it and try actually rolling some tubing, but then I fucked up and I ordered the wrong thing. I guess I'll explain that really quick too for anyone that cares. So the tubing roller and the tubing bender both have something very similar in common, and that's that they use dies. This is the die for the tubing bender, and the die determines what size tubing you can use with the bender or the roller. I really suck at explaining this. The bender itself, right? Like this can bend, I don't know the exact stats, but like let's just say 0.5 inch to 2 inch tubing. But you need a separate die for whatever tubing you're bending. So this is a 2 inch die, which is what I need because that's what I use to make my rails. And you can see, I mean, this is a 2 inch piece of tubing. This is what we use. And you can see it's a perfect fit into the die there. And that's so it doesn't kink or warp, or it's meant for this size tubing. If I were making like a roll cage, I don't know what the standard is, inch tubing, 1.5 inches, I would need a different die. This die is only for this size tubing. You can probably see the problem now, right? The roller can also do varying sizes of tubes and pipes and whatnot, but I got it for 2 inch tubing because that's what I use. I must have still been confused on the difference between tubing and piping when I got the dies, because you can clearly see the dies do not line up. See how there's still that like side to side movement? It doesn't hug it snug like the bender die does. So that is my bad. But hey, at least you guys got an educational video out of it, right? This is where I kind of want to open the floor to you guys, because you know by now that you have a very heavy influence on the way the videos go and the projects that we do. We pretty much have everything we need now. We have the bender, we have the roller, and we have the chop saw. I dare someone to count the number of times I've said bender in this video. Bender does stuff like that. Roller does big rolls like a rainbow rail. And then if we wanted like an abrupt kink, like the A-frame, for example, we would just use the chop saw to cut that angle, then weld them together so you have like an actual point. What I'm getting at is we pretty much have the tools to make any variation of skateboard rail now. Pretty much now, the only limitation is my skill level, and I need projects to improve my skill level. I'm thinking this super simple rainbow rail. This is a solid first project with the roller just to figure out how it works and everything. Then, I mean, I do think that's a good second option because that experiments with, you know, having to measure the angle and you know what I mean. But then, I mean, this is where shit just opens up. We could do, I'm about to draw something crazy. We could do like a crazy like pole jam up to kink, right? Have a random like hump in the middle of it, have it curve left, and then have a kink. We could do like the most absurd combination of bends and swivels and kinks now. So this is where I'm asking you guys, what do I make? What's our next project? For all of my tier 2 members and higher, as you've probably seen, I've been posting all sorts of behind the scenes stuff and polls and kind of heavily taking that input into consideration. But I also would like to open it up to everyone. I have a feeling we're gonna make some absurd shit. I gotta go get this packed up and take it to the post office so we can actually do what we were supposed to do in this video. Honestly, I think this did work out. I think the more time we have to brainstorm ideas and for me to actually learn more about the whole process, I think the better. Sorry about the lack of actually like rolling any tubing, but hopefully you guys still learned something, and bare minimum, hopefully it got you hyped for the next couple of videos once the right dies come in. Looking forward to seeing what the channel members decide is the final verdict for what our first project is. But I'll be reading through the comments here, taking everything into consideration. Appreciate you guys watching, and I will catch you next video. Peace out.